Good evening. Welcome to Zero XP Studio. I'm Zero XP Dev. We're into our third episode. We are continuing on learning how to make use the tools in GameMaker by making clones of old arcade classics. So last time we made this Asteroids clone. So we've got pretty standard Asteroids gameplay. All the asteroids fly around, we can run our ship around, but you'll see we've got a power-up. So we learn to add power-ups that are on a timer. So this one's the ghost power-up. We can fly through ships and asteroids and not get hit until we run out of the power-up. There is another one. I'll see if we can unlock that quickly before we get started for the night. So pretty much just straight asteroids clone, but at the same time, as I said, we've got the power-ups. We've got the score counter, so here's the spread power-up. Gives you a spread fire. Helps you build up the score really quickly. Easiest thing I learned though is don't move. It's just easier to turn and fire as everything comes in. The more you move, the harder it gets. So, but we might go get that and then attempt to come and sit in the middle again. But you can never really stay completely still again once you've started to move. You get pretty close, but you'll see it's still moving a bit. So that was our asteroids clone. If we go and die quickly, I'll show you what else we programmed in. So we've got little animated buttons that when we click they pop down. The help pops up and tells you what the controls are, and the quit button quits out. So fairly simple. So we're going to move on to another game. Now I'll bring the screen over so we can all see. And I've done that entirely with the game behind the main camera. So let's pull up the main screen there. So never mind that little bit of gameplay. Stuff. We'll pull it back up quickly. So here's the animated buttons. So we pop down, the controls pop up. If we go play, as I said, pretty standard Asteroids gameplay. We get a power up. Hopefully it's a spread, nice and easy, quick one. There we go, there's the spread coming right in for us, so we don't even have to move. And there we go. So as I said, we programmed in the power-ups on the timer. They'll only appear after 20 seconds and they'll last for 10 seconds each. This one's the ghost power-up. I'll quickly show you that one, seeing as we didn't see it. So it basically makes you invisible to the asteroids. And then if we die, a little explosion effect and get booted back to the menu. Okay. So we'll pull up that page. Now, I did see that they had something about a Pac-Man or something, but looking through on their website, I haven't seen that. So future tutorials, we want the beginner tutorials. So we made the space rocks. What else have we got? So there's like platformers and RPGs, but I think they might be a little bit too advanced still for where we're at. Make a multiplayer car game. Endless platformer. It's RPG. It's adventure game. Oh, so we had this breakthrough. Oops, we've opened up a couple of tabs. What else? There's a couple of those breakthrough tutorials. I think this might be an older one first. But we essentially want... Yeah, no, that's not the page. We want the new tutorials, I think. So I think that's teaching us how to make sprites. We imported sprites before. Okay. Quite possibly we might start on that one, but let me just do a quick Google search. Learn to create games. I don't think that one might be too useful. I think that's an old version. And I haven't even completed the tutorial anyway. So that was from 10 years ago. Okay. What is this the... I don't think this is their official channel. Okay, GameMaker. Oh, we got videos. Playlists. We're going to save this playlist. Okay. Alright, so we're probably going to start with this one. We're going Breakout instead of Pac-Man. That's alright. We're still going to learn more tools, so... Textual process tutorials available using the GameMaker language on this page. Okay. No, so yeah, we're going to be doing the drag and drop stuff. Let's just make sure. Yep, that's the screens we want. Okay. So let's pop that down there. Alright. So, oh, hold on. So just gonna go straight to that page. Okay. So let's go new game. Yeah, so we've got template. We'll see if it says to do that. So, when using GameMaker, all your visuals start off as sprites. These are simply images made up of pixels that will draw to the screen to represent what is happening. In the case of Breakthrough, we'll need the following: a bat, a ball, bricks, and borders. To create a sprite, go to the resource tree, then use the right mouse button. Okay, so we need to be in a game. I guess we'll start with that. The template we want, the visual code. Okay. Brickbaker 0. Okay. So it's already got a bunch of sprites. A bunch of rooms, sequences. Okay. Alright, so I think we're gonna go new project, close that. So yeah, game, blank game. Breaker 0. Okay. So we're completely blank. We've got one room. Alright, so to create a sprite, go to the resource tree, then use the right mouse button on the sprite resource and select create sprite. and name the sprite SPR_bat. So open the sprite editor window where we show the properties for the sprite. First thing we need to do is make the sprite the correct size, as we don't want a square bat. For that, click the resize sprite button and change it to 64 by 16. Where's the resize? Edit image? No. Where are we? See, it's an older version as well anyway. Open image, new tab. Edit image. Okay, no. Right. Open and extend image editor. Raise 5 images. Existing. Favorite duplicate. Open Explorer. Where is that? Ah, over on the left side. Okay. Resize. Here we go. Resize canvas. 16. Fine. Okay. Alright, so back in the sprite editor, click on Edit Image to open up the image editor. The image editor is used in GameMaker to draw and edit all the graphical assets that make up your game. In this case, we want to draw a bat for the game, so use the different tools in the toolbox to do this now. The fill tool, the rectangle tool, the eraser tool. Move the corners, give the bat a rounded look. Okay. Where's erase, fill? It's like a magenta. There's a purple. Alright, let me just check my display settings there. The HDR screws with my color. Alright. We want... Where's the square tool? Rectangle tool? What color do we want for that? Let's do... lime green. No. That's not what we want. Alright. Okay, yep. Okay. You find file descriptions in the manual to see what they do to make a better image even prettier. When you have finished, simply close the image editor and the image will save and assigned to the bat sprite. We need to set the sprite origin now. So the point where the sprite will be positioned within the room. Think of it like pinning an image on the board. The origin is where you stick the pin, and we need to set it to the middle center. Okay. I mean, because that's going to be fairly small. That'll do. We just need to close that. So there we go, it's added. Let me go middle center. With that done, let's make the rest of the basic sprites for the game, starting with the bricks. Create a new sprite and call it SPR brick. Resize them with 32 by 16. Okay, so we want white with a black border. So fill, rectangle, let's erase the corners on them as well. So we're going to color the bricks programmatically, so they need to be black and white. Close an image editor and the sprite editor without changing the origin of its sprite, as it's fine set to the top left. Okay. So now we want to create sprite SPR ball. So this one's 15 by 15. Let's go with an orange. Okay. Apparently that one we are going to set to middle center. Alright. Now we're going to make our objects. So objects are the resources to control aspects of a game and do things. We're given a sprite, have behaviors, and they can be instructed to react to certain game events as well to each other. Let's make our first object. First object is going to be for the bricks that we want our player to break. Okay, so go ahead and right click on objects resource, create object. Create object. Okay. I'm gonna name it OBJ brick. So that's brick. Okay, so we don't need to change any other properties. We need to move on to adding some events. Simply a moment within the game loop when something happens. The main ones are create. When its first instance of an object is created in a room is where you would initialize variables, set variables, etc. Each game step or frame, this event will be triggered, and it's where you would place the majority of the game object's logic. Draw, this is where things are drawn. If you have no code in this event, then GameMaker Studio will automatically draw whatever sprite is assigned to the object. Destroy, this event is only triggered when an instance of the object is destroyed. Removed from the room and can be used for a variety of tasks like creating an explosion, or adding a score, or playing a sound. Okay. Use the create event only for now. So in the event window, add event and select create. Okay. Okay, so we want to choose. Let's open image in new tab. From the random. Fuchsia. Fuchsia. Orange. Okay, we're gonna set to underscore color. Temp. And set instant color. Is it gonna be under instance? Instances. Set instance color. Underscore color. Use alpha. False. Alright. So new objects. obj underscore bat. Sprite bat. Take a moment to create the ball objects. Okay, so we need to create ball because we're going to be interacting with it with the bat. So create objects obj ball. So on the object sprite SPR ball. Did we have yellow in that? Yeah. So it's going to be pulling up yellow anyway. So on the ball sprite, go back to the bat object. Create event. Create. By the following action to create a new instance variables. Speed from the common category. Okay, so add create. Assign variable. Oops. Speed 7. Maybe it's control movement for the bat. We also need to store the X offset value for the bat sprite. So we're using that to ensure the bat doesn't go out of the screen when it moves left or right. Okay, so X offset value is the X position of the sprite origin. There isn't a dedicated action for this, so we use a function call from the common category to call some GML like this. Okay. So it's going to like originate in the center, potentially, and then we can say, okay, you can allow it to go 50 wide, like to the left, and 50 to the right. That's what I'm assuming that is. So function call. Yeah, so function call. Okay. Also need keyboard events to check for keyboard input. Note there are actually 3 types of keyboard event. The down event, which is triggered continuously while a key is being held down. The pressed event, which is triggered once when a key is initially pressed down. And the up event, which is triggered once when the key has been released. Go ahead and add a keyboard down event for the left arrow key. Alright, F key down. We don't want left. we're going to use A to go left. I feel like they're missing something here. Okay, I don't know. Seems like we just put this under, so I guess we attach it to that. If variable x is greater than x offset plus speed, sign variable, else x is minus speed plus x is x offset. Okay. So I've keyed down D. Is it going to be the opposite? Okay, here we use the if variable, actually along with the else, check if the x position is greater than the speed plus the offset, add the speed value onto x. Else set the x position to the offset value. Check simply ensures the bat will only move left as long as the sprite is within the room bounds. I need to do the following for moving right now. Okay. Does it start off at the left? Okay, so we're going to now add a step event. It's called every step of the game, so any actions here will be run continuously. We need to use this event to ensure the ball object sticks to the bat when moving left or right until the player decides to start the game. Add the step event now. Okay. Okay. Declare a temporary value underscore x value x. Apply to apply to ball. If variable go is equal to false. Assign variable x underscore that underscore x. You create a temporary local value to hold the unique ID of the bat instance. And we use the apply action to tell GameMaker Studio the next actions are to be applied to the ball object. The next actions have the ball object check a variable. If it is false, move the ball to the same X position as the bat. Okay. Now we're also going to create some sounds. Bounce sound, a break sound, and a button sound. So let's go to the resource tree, right click sounds, and go create. So create sound. So let's go bounce. Okay, so let's click the follow slower button. Browse to an appropriate sound. Okay. So is it supplying the resources for this or not? It doesn't look like it. Okay, free to use in personal. What's by crediting credit? Okay. Okay. Alright, I think I liked. Wonder if we can add multiple. That would be a call like we did in the asteroid clone, where it called for different sound, sorry, the different power-ups. We'd have to put each sound bounce 1, bounce 2, bounce 3, etc. Okay. So let's just do one for now. That would be polishing. But we could do the random pitch like we did in the other for the sounds. Glass, medium, glass, heavy. Ooh, what did they sound like? Just 000. Okay. Can you change any of the settings? Create 2 more sound resources and name them break and click. Okay. Create sound SMD break. Something that sounds like breaking. I mean, they might be alright. Because if we're going for sort of glassy sounds. Yeah, I reckon either no, what about the plate? I like that one. Plate medium 001. Okay. And a click. How do we stop it going automatically to the next one? Generic light 004. Alright, so we've done a little bit at the moment. We've set up the objects, we've set up the sprites, we've set up the sounds. We've got to start making them interact more. We've done some stuff with the bat, but that's more just controlling where it can move. If we go F5, it's probably not going to do anything because we haven't placed anything in the room. Yep, nothing in the room. We got nothing to do anything. So we've got to start adding some more events to the ball. I'm going to take a quick 10-minute break and we'll come back doing that. So we'll see you soon. Welcome back to 0xp Studio. I'm 0xp Dev. So we left off, we're creating a Breakout clone. We have created a bunch of sprites. We have created some sounds. We've imported them from a free asset site. And we've created some objects and applied the sprites to the objects. We've started applying some events to those objects, and we're going to continue with that by adding some events to the ball object. Okay, so we've created the ball object previously, but we haven't added any events to it. Let's remedy that by adding a create event. Okay, so we want object ball, add a create event. Okay. So we want to assign a variable. We're assigning a few variables. So we've got variable go, variable speed, and variable direction. Alright, so we're setting variable go to false. I'm guessing that's the movement, whether it's moving or not. Speed is 3 and direction is 0. Okay. We're getting a random number. So random, get random number. See the randomize. Create a random seed used by the random number generator. Okay. So we're creating a decimal, minimum 45 and maximum 135, so that's the degrees. And we're setting that to direction. Okay. Unless I need a key down event targeting the space key. So we'll add that now and give it the following actions. Now, what is this going to be for? Just the launch. So to go to true again, so it only happens once. Okay. So yeah, this is basically the launch function. Alright, so where's the keyboard stuff? Input. Key down. Let's get back up to that other one. Let's create. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, key down. Let me check if go is equal to false, then we assign variable go to true. Set direction variable, okay. Instance variables, no time. Under movement. So direction fix variable. Okay. Setting it to that. To the variable. Set speed. Direction. And play the audio. Sound, click. Ah, here we go. There we go. So that's where gain, offset, pitch. Now, what was it in the other one? Easiest way will just be pull up the tutorial. That's going to be under the sounds though. Yeah, mod space rocks, that's right. Sound effects.
To play sounds in GameMaker, you actually don't need to do a lot for the sound effects. First of all, let's play a sound effect when the player shoots. Here I have a step. The left mouse button is pressed. It creates a play the same condition. This is the sound. If you run the game, you can effect. You're hearing everything. So we're going to make it more interesting every time it plays. Each parameter that we want to adjust. We first want to enter the optional, change them, random number in a range using this.
Okay, so yeah. It's about the pitch, random range. We're gonna go. Alright, we're gonna do that on each of them, so I'm gonna copy and paste that. Okay. A set our ball in motion, what about when it reaches the edge of the game area? We don't want it to stop, then it'll fly out of the game, which isn't really much fun. To prevent this, we'll detect when the ball is in a collision with the room boundary and react accordingly. Luckily for us, in the other event category, we have the intersect boundary event. Okay, so add event. Other? Intersect boundary. First we need to define a number of local variables to hold various distance instance variable values. We can use the instant variables directly, but we'll assign them to local variables instead, as it's easier to remember and keep track of. Okay. No, wait. Yes, like that, that's the wrong one. Get instance variable. Haha. Bounding box left. Bounding box top. Bounding box right. Bounding box bottom. Okay, so underscore left. underscore top, underscore right, underscore bottom. Alright, so sprite origin. Need one more. Sprite origin X, sprite origin Y, X off, Y off. Horizontal speed, vertical speed, H speed, B speed. Okay. Need to add the following to use these local variables to perform our boundary checks. First, the left and right check. Okay. So if variable left is less or equal to 0, where's the instance? Set insta from variable horizontal speed, which speed times -1. The x coordinate to x off. If variable right is greater or equal room width, horizontal speed times -1. Room width. Okay. Sections check to see if the bat bounding box has left either side of the room. If the bat bounding box, if it has reverses the horizontal speed making the ball bounce and then sets it to a position that keeps it perfectly within the room. We'll do something similar for the top of the room now. Oh, it's less or equal to 0. Then set instance variable vertical speed okay, I see. vertical speed times -1 is if it's 10 times -1 is -10. The y coordinate, y off. Okay. Let's go bottom is greater or equal to room height. Create instance. BJ ball. Start. Oh, so that's basically restarting the ball position. I think that would go before that though. Destroy that instance, create a new one. Okay. These actions check to see if the ball is about to exit the top and bottom, and reverse the vertical speed accordingly, except if it goes out the bottom, in that case the ball instance will be destroyed and a new one will be created. Final section of drag and drop, we need to play, will play the bounce sound we added earlier. So this one bounces on the wall, okay. So we're gonna go play audio. Sound bounce. I'm gonna put that pitch range in. Setting instance variable direction. So 2 minus random 4 relative. So when it bounces, 2 direction 2 minus random. Let's see what it says about that. If variable speed, that's why we had just SPD, is less or equal to 12. Set speed to 0.1 relative to the ball. Okay. And then also add a small random amount between 2 and -2 to the direction of the ball. This is to prevent the ball possibly getting stuck, bouncing at perfect 180-degree angles between the wall and anything else. We also increment the speed of the ball a little bit, which will increase the difficulty of the game as it progresses. First one is going to make using reduction forms a continuous chain of actions. Okay, so then we're adding some collisions. It's like adding everything first before even putting it into the game to test what you're doing. Not sure if I like this way. I want to be able to test one little bit at a time. Okay. Next for the ball. Okay, so we're still on the ball. Add a collision event object when it collides with the brick. Okay, and in the D&D editor we will add some GML code. It's because we're going to use the length direction X and length direction Y functions along with the move bounce to ensure proper bounce from the brick. So add the execute code action with the following. Okay. Let's make this wider. Okay. Ball will be moving at a speed of more than 1 pixel every game frame, so when a collision is detected it will probably be when the ball and its brick sprites overlap. Code above simply moves the ball back along the direction it came from until the sprites no longer overlap, and then it calls the move bounce to tell GameMaker to bounce the instance. God, okay. This is getting more complicated than beginner. Why other? Underscore X 1 underscore dir Y greater or equal underscore Y. so simply moves the ball back along the direction it came from until the sprites no longer overlap. Vertical direction minus 180. Angle, so spin it around opposite direction. Move it until bounce all true. I mean, I slightly get what it's doing, but I don't understand the coding behind it. That done, we need to increase the speed of the ball. Speed, ensuring it doesn't go over a maximum speed value. Then play a sound and destroy the brick. We'll do that using the following D&D, which should add the execute code action. Okay, so alright, get instance variable, get instance variable. So we're checking for the speed. Let's go speed. If underscore speed is less than 12, so instance variable speed 0.1, play audio bounce, okay, oh, and then I'll destroy. And target the other. Okay, when a collision event is triggered, it's because the sprite bounding box of one object is overlapping the sprite bounding box of another. Which in this case means the ball is overlapping the brick. We want to simulate a bounce off the edge of the brick, but if they're overlapping, even if it's only by a couple of pixels, then this bounce will be wrong. So what this code does is it first moves the ball back along the direction it came from until the bounding boxes of each instance in the collision are no longer overlapping. They could be considered touching, and then uses the GML function to calculate the bounce direction before destroying the brick itself and playing a sound. A final piece of D&D will go in another collision event, this time with the bat object. So add event, collision, objects, bat. Okay. So movement. Reverse. Vertical. Why didn't we just use that before? Okay. Get instance variable speed. Function call. Say point direction. So other.x, other.y plus 32. So that's the height of, because it's centered on the sprite. So 32. Yeah. Okay. X argument y, target direction. I guess that is a temporary value. Another one of them. Function call. Distance. Other.x, other.y. So 2 x, y, distance. Is that just repeated so you can see where it is? I think it might be point distance, other.x, other.y. If it doesn't work, I'll come back to that. That's probably going to be the problem, so we'll leave that. Have one function call motion add underscore direction underscore direction divided by 5. Set instance variable speed. Play audio bounce. Okay. For all these actions, we're setting the direction of the ball based on how far from the center of the bat the ball hit. So in this way, we're giving the player a bit of control over the direction of the bounce. It's time to now place all this in the room and test our game. Should that be a plus and a minus? Okay. Alright, so making a game, it requires at least one room to run, and so GameMaker always adds a room to your new projects. In this case, it's called Room 0. It can be found in the resource tree rooms. Like all other resources, it can add further rooms by using the right mouse button and selecting Create Room. But for our game, we only need one, so let's just edit that. Let's start with double-click on the room and the resource tree option to open the room editor. Okay. Everything that you placed into the room is placed onto a layer, and you can see there are 2 layers pre-created for you, one for instances, one for the background. You don't need to add any other layers, as these are fine for what we're making, so click on the instances layer to select it ready for adding our game objects to. Okay. It's important to understand you don't actually place objects directly into the game rooms, but rather you place instances of these objects with basically copies, or clones if you prefer, of the object resource. So in a typical game, all the characters, monsters, balls, walls, etc. are all objects you create in a resource tree, which you then place as an instance in the room editor. This instance can then be changed in the room editor itself or through code so that it can be scaled or colored, or have other details modified from the base object. So when we talk about something affecting or changing an instance, we mean it affects that one particular copy of an object in a room. But when we talk about affecting or changing an object, we mean that we are modifying the object in the resource tree, and anything we do to that will be reflected in all instances. So the object is the template for the instance, and that instance is what we place in the room. Okay. Let's make the room a little smaller. Default size is 1024 by 768, but we want to set it to 640 by 480. This is done from the Room Properties tab. Properties. What? Where is it? What's the problem? What was it on before? Okay, I don't know. Okay. Okay, so we want to place some bricks into the room. Make things easier, you should set the grid to be 32 by 16. How do I set the grid? Okay, there we go. So you grab the brick and start adding it to the room. Geez, how many of these do we want? Okay. Single instance of a ball and a single instance of a bat. Damn it. Alright, let's try that again. Mofo. accidentally undone a bunch of work. Alright, I think all that's fine still. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so apparently we can test. That's so tiny. Why don't we have anything running? Okay, so the random colors work. It's not that random though. Okay. Sprite. Index offset. Sprite index. Just, where's ball object? So go. Okay, ball. No, where's the ball? Create event. Okay, space. Why doesn't it work? Okay, no, what is working? What isn't this working? Alright, I need to clear my brain, so I'm going to take a quick 10-minute break. And then we need to run through this tutorial and find out where we've gone wrong, why this isn't moving. This tutorial is laid out a lot differently than the first one, and it's a lot more difficult to follow. I liked the first tutorial where it was like building everything into the room first. Alright, test this, everything's appearing, yep. Test the movement, yep, that's working. This method of just doing all of it at once and then putting it all to the room, something's broken. Something went wrong with those things. I feel like it's calling for stuff that is not. Hold on. Okay. Go back to the workspace. Support object bat. Brick. Destroy other another. There's nothing there. We got something wrong there. I feel we're missing something there. Is it not picking up the key inputs? Key down. Yeah, no. Alright, we're taking a break. Let's bring that music back up. Is the music playing? Did we finish the playlist? That's a really short playlist. Yeah, we finished that ages ago. Okay. Let's Alright, I need to just add my own, like all of this stuff to my own playlist. So we've got continuous music. But hey, that's what learning about how to be a Twitch streamer is. So, we'll see you in 10 minutes. We'll be back soon. Okay, welcome back to Zero XP Studio. So we've been working on making a brick breaker clone, or breakout clone. Haven't liked how this tutorial's been going. Unlike the one from last Thursday, this tutorial has... last Thursday it got us to do each little bit, put it into the room in the instance, like generate each instance, test it, then start adding movement, etc. This one we've gone through doing all the coding all at once, doing all the objects, everything, then throwing it into the room, and when we test it, it'll launch, generates everything as it appears it should, but we have no control. So something's not launching right, so we need to go through, follow the tutorial. Well, I've got button back to the start of the screen, and we're going to see if we've missed something. Go from there. So bear with me while we read through and check if we've done everything as we should have. So sprites, created the sprites. All our sprites are fine. They're resized correctly. With the other draw tools, you can find full descriptions, blah blah blah. It's fine. Okay. Which one are we not changing? Oh, the brick. That one we are. Okay. Objects. Okay, so object brick. Alright. Using sprite brick. Yes, we're talking about the events. Go to create event. Okay, so create. Choose. Got all the different options. Set instance color, use alpha false. That's all ticked. Okay, bat object. So, assign the object sprite. Click the button with no sprite, select the sprite bat. So take a moment to create the ball object. So we've got the ball object. Read variables for events. Yeah, so we've got events open. There's no parent objects. Okay. So ball, no sprite. Okay, go back to the bat. Create object. Create new variable speed. Sprite, get x offset, sprite underscore index. X offset temp. Alright, let's just change these to what they say. So VK left. Okay, so it's actually 3 types of keyboard down event. Okay, keyboard down. Okay, that's where we've gone wrong. It's in the create event. It's supposed to be in... Okay. Add event, key down. That's where we've gone completely wrong. So we need to do all those key events properly. So we can do the letters as we want. Can we just take all these. Paste. Copy. Paste. Right. Key down. That is D. Okay. Copy. Paste. Copy. Paste. Alright. Delete. Okay. Delete. Okay. Okay, alright. And then we're going to be the same on the ball. So, object ball, add event, key down, space, copy, paste, delete that. Right, theoretically, we should be good now. Okay, we got left and right movement. It literally just goes to the border of the edge of the screen. Whoa, that goes really slow. Something's wrong there, maybe? That's going to be the coding in the event with the collision with the brick. Let's see what happens when it hits. Yeah, we're going to be waiting a little while. Take a drink, guys. What's your drink of choice? Me? I'm Monster. Monster Energy, if you want to give me a sponsorship, I'm happy to take it. Lifetime supply of Mango Loco. This is my drink of choice. Alright. That's not doing anything to the speed. So, collision with the brick. What have we got wrong here? Collision with brick. Let's open this up larger, make sure we've got this typed in properly. So variable underscore direction. I mean, it bounced. Okay, speed. Let's go through the speed. Okay, so variable speed. Set to speed temp. Speed is less than 12. Speed relative. Okay, here we go. Is that the problem? Was it literally just that one click? Yep. Alright. So we've got a working breakout. To be honest, this seems fairly simple. That really bounced into the corner one. Okay. I want to try and get it up here. Oh, you can bounce on the very edge of the... Okay. So yeah, it does get faster. So that's good. Let's get up into that corner. I wanted to see it bounce across the top. Here we go. Ah, yes. Come on, get a good... Ah. Well, that's really getting fast. It's like every time it bounces, it gets faster. Oh, did we just get a vertical? No? Okay. A horizontal, rather. Come on. I mean, Breakout was always fun. There's so many different Breakout clones over the years. And, like, it's good that we've done a bit of troubleshooting as well. So obviously we had a massive bug that it wasn't telling us anything. So it didn't pick up any wrong code or anything. But it literally only asked for... Oh, I wonder if we change that back, because it was going to create an instance. So if we were holding the key down as we started the game, would it go? Like, would it actually launch? Obviously you wouldn't be able to control anything after the instance was created, but yeah, it may very well launch still and start moving the ball if you were to hold space. Alright, where are we? Oh, that's power-ups. We've gone too far. Okay, so we tested the gameplay. We've got that working now. Great start, missing a few things to make it a complete game, namely player lives and a score. We want to add 3 lives and keep track of a score to get each brick destroyed. Excuse me. So for that we're going to make a controller object. A controller object is simply an object in your game that is designed to control the things that go on in the background. It usually doesn't have a sprite assigned to it, though it can have, and it can also draw stuff independently, as we'll see. So I wonder if this was the OBG game that we had in the first one. Before adding controller font, however, let's add a font resource. So we want controller to draw some text to the screen. To add a font, simply right click on the fonts resource and select create font. So create font. We are just going to go with something in the default. We've got, I know they were near the end somewhere, so let's see upheaval. That's the one we used in the space. 10%. I need to get like a massive fonts pack. I need to get rid of all these fonts. I wouldn't never use any of them. Papyrus. So, anyone play Undertale? Of course, everyone played Undertale. I haven't played what most people call the spiritual successor, though. The, what's it? Deltarune? Yeah, let's go with that. Just for out there. Okay, good setting size 20 or whatever seems appropriate for the size being used. Let's go a bit bigger. Let's go 32. aliasing. Ew. On. Alright. For our controller, you'll need to create an object, call it object control. So object create object obj control. And we want the create event, add assign variable, state, start. We'll be using this variable to set the state of the controller so it knows whether the game has to start, is being played, or is finished. Apart from this, we'll also use the game start event to initialize some global variables. So add event other game start. Okay, set global variable. Okay, we want 3 of these. So we want player score. Oops. Player lives. High score. Player lives 3. These global variables will permit us to keep track of important variables without having to worry about which instance of an object is accessing them or changing them. And by initializing them in the game start event, they will only be initialized once, even if we restart the room. But if we restart the game, they will be reinitialized. We now need to draw the score and lives of the player to the screen, so you need to add a draw event. Add draw event. There's a number of different event sizes can be used. For this, we simply want the regular draw. Okay, in this event, we'll add the following actions. Alright, so set draw color. Drawing. Set draw color. If use alpha false, turn that off. Alright, set font. FNT game. We need to rename this FNT game. Okay. Set text alignment. Alright, left top. Draw value. Score. Value. Global dot player underscore score. Alright, we got 8, 8. Set text alignment. I score. Whoops. FA underscore right. Whoops. Now draw value. Whoops. Okay, so now high score. Global dot high score. Room width -8. 8. Declare temp a variable. Declare temp variable. We need 2 temp variables. So space 32 by global dot player underscore lives. Oops. Underscore lives -1 underscore x room underscore width divided by 2 minus space. Repeat global player lives. Where's the draw stuff? Gone too far. So draw sprite transformed. Okay, so sprite SPR. That. Does it get smaller? Alright, minus 16. 0.75, 0.75. Rotation 0. And assign a variable. Okay. Measuring the score across the top of the room and then a series of sprites scaled down to represent the player lives at the bottom. Ah, okay. How many? Yep, okay, I get it. We need to add one final event to this object. A step event. So add step event. We'll be using this to restart the room when the player destroys all the bricks. Add this event now and give it the following actions. Get instance count. Okay, if variable. How many times has the brick has been there? Okay. If num is less. Oh, how many number of bricks there are? Okay, never mind. Less or equal to 0. Where's the rooms? Rooms. Restart room. Else. If. State. Is equal. Game over. Key pressed. Any key. Play audio. Sounds click. Random underscore range 0.8 1.2 set global variable underscore score. Let's not see it. 0. Player underscore lives 3. And restart room. You'll be restarting when all the bricks are gone. Because we use global variables, this will not reset the score of lives, or we'll wait for the player to restart the room if all lives are gone, resetting the global variables. Now that we have that done, before continuing on to do anything else, open the room editor, add this object to the game. Room, object control, oh, let's just put it there. Okay. Subjects in the room. Anywhere. I'll close the room edit again. Test this moment. Just need to add a few extra actions to our ball. So open that now. Alright, so object ball. You calculate score and tell the controller object when the player has lost a life. So to start with, we'll edit the collision with the brick. So it adds to the global score variable. Okay, so I need to modify the intersect boundary event. Okay. Section we check if the ball goes out at the bottom. If variable bottom. Okay. Set global variable. Player lives -1. If variable. Global dot player lives. So that's equal to 0. If variable. Player score is greater than global dot high score. Set global variable high score global dot player score. Apply to control. Assign variable state. Game over. Else. Create instance. Destroy instance. Play audio. Alright. Play the game now. If all's gone well, you should see intro text on the screen. Score that changes as you play. Lives as markers along the bottom, and the game should change according to whether you have lives left or destroyed the bricks. Intro text. What intro text did we put in? Okay, so not intro text so much. Okay, that needs to be plus 15. Place a brick. No. Alright, let's see if that goes up. Yep, now that's going up. Yeah, it's not doing the lives properly. Okay. Okay, so now the lives are working, but they're not lined up properly, or something. There we go, that looks better. So now these lives should go properly. What about the high score? It's not right. I wonder if that's fixed as well because it's gone relative with the lives. It needs background music. Ah! Does it only speed up if it bounces off the walls? Alright, one more life. Come on. Ah! Okay, I've got no idea where this is gonna go. Alright, close. And that's when you clear it, you can go to different levels, different rooms. Okay. So our breakthrough game is now right. Is right now. You could probably consider it finished, and it is to a certain extent. So it's one thing to make it into a proper breakthrough game. Power-ups. Start with create a new sprite and set the size to 32 width and 16 height. Okay. So create sprite. SVR. Alright. Properties. 32 by 16. Image. Okay. Someone tried to spam the post. Spam the chat rather. Okay. Create a new object. OBJ power up. Assign it to sprite. Add a create event. Alright, so choose 0, 1 index. Set sprite SPR power up underscore index. Set animation speed 0. Set direction variable 270. Set speed direction 5. So it's like the sprite frame to use. Set it moving down the screen. We need to remove the instance from the game if it is no longer visible. So the next thing to add is outside room event. Outside room. Destroy instance. Finally add a collision event with the object bat. Object bat. The game change based on the image index of the sprite that the power-up uses. In this case, frame 0 make the bat larger, and frame 1 will slow the ball down. So get instance variable image index temp switch index is constant 0. apply to object bat, set instance scale 0.5, set alarm countdown 0, countdown, frame speed times 10. Case 1. Apply to object ball, speed, SPD, and then a destroy instance. Okay. Set the alarm object event to object bat. Alarm 0. Set instance scale to 1. Last thing they need for the game to be finished is to have a brick object spawn one of the power-ups. So open up the object brick, give it a destroy event, so get random number. To create variable create is equal to 0. Create instance power up. Exactly where that is. Okay, let's test that. Alright, so yeah, ball slowing down with the down one, down arrows. Can we clear it this time? Doing well so far. Let's get it up the top. So it's still going to get harder because even with the power-ups, because there's less chance of getting power-ups, the less things there are. Really want to test that it regenerates the things though. So really need to beat it. Make sure everything is tested then. Oh, we're gonna get red. That blue. Get that one. Come on. Yes. Oh no, don't bounce all the way over here. Get back over there. I said that way. Alright, come on. Come on. 2 left. One more. One more. There we go. And we restart. Score keeps going up. So the global variables are working. We've still only got 2 lives. Can we get 2,000 on the score? Get up there. $95. 2010. Come on. 2025. There we go. How far are we going to go in the future? 2085. Is this when I'm going to die? When I die here? Let's get the second. Ah, we died. 2580. And all 3 sets. So everything's all working. Now, I just want to explore just game options for a sec. Okay. Executable name. Proof GameMaker. Here we go. Oh. Let's try this here. So breaker 0. Breaker 0. By 0xp Studio. Breakout. Save data. Use ultimate launcher for Steam application. Disable file system sandbox. File that. Start full screen. Allow full screen switching. Allow window resize. Okay. Okay. So there we go. So we've got full screen and all activated. Whoa, that really bounced up over against there. Okay. So that's where it's like the clean code or something. Okay. Don't need to be in the debugger. So Breakout 0, got an installer. Alright, well, everything's all working. So, there is a successful game. It's really not that much coding. It's got no creation game. Japan, collision outside room. There's, for example. Where's the action? Like, where's the calls for them? Alright. Well, that's all done for the night. So, we've done a few different things tonight. We've... Oops, let's go back here. Tutorials. So, we followed the tutorial, ran completely different. I didn't like the way that tutorial basically created everything, put it all into the room and then test. I think I definitely like test one bit at a time. Break it into pieces was everything I saw in the guides on game creation and the ways to follow. Like best practices to follow rather. We had a lot of troubleshooting a lot of issues troubleshooting the problem with the controls because I had no idea where the problem was because everything was all done at once. So we had to go through everything until I found that, okay, yeah, well, we had the create keyboard down event rather than adding the if variable, if the key's down variable. I guess the key down variable goes in the step event because that's continuously running. So that would be on a player control or something. Once the instance is generated, excuse me, it runs constantly and checks, okay, is it being pressed or not? But as just an event, it's right when that event happens, do that. So it's all fairly straightforward. I definitely think I might need to, well, one, do some more tutorials I think there's some other good ones in the start, like potentially this platformer one. I'm not sure whichever one's the newer version of it. I think potentially this one that looks more like the actually maybe not. Oh no, that one. That looks more like the same styling of the button as that. So maybe that. I imagine platform will give us some more instances of like player control and stuff. Oops. So yeah, we're pretty much. This is more looking like what we look like in the other one. Look at the tutorial layout. So we're going to get started on that next time. So we'll probably get started on the platform tutorial. We're definitely starting to get used to the tools more for GameMaker. I don't want to do too many more tutorials, so maybe this week and next week spent on tutorials. We're going to be following tutorials during development, so anything from like any of these small little tutorials about how to do little tiny things. I saw a bunch of them here before. How to move with collisions, how to create buttons, how to add audio effects. Like, oh, I want to do this. What's a tutorial? Where's a tutorial how to do that and all? We're going to learn the entire process through along. So join me. We'll be next back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Brisbane GMT +10. And as I said, we'll continue on with Zero XP Studio and learning to make our own games from Zero XP. Until next time.